Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between, you are gluttons for punishment because this is our 100th episode and you're still here listening. What's wrong with you?
Ugh.
And to celebrate our 100th episode, we thought, who do we know who's a man you'd want to listen to? And not just listen to, but listen to at least 4 times on this platform and listen to talk about the same thing again for a 4th time. It's the great Benjamin Dennehy. Benjamin, how are you?
It's good to be here, guys. 100, congratulations. Podcasts are challenging things to do, and to continually get guests and to continually draw in, viewers is tough. So well done on getting to your 100, and thank you for inviting me on yet again to discuss why salespeople suck.
You'll be back 3 times a year at least.
Oh my goodness! Yes.
I read a stat that if you do more than 7 episodes, you're in the top 1%. So that just goes to show
Wow.
nobody puts the work or the ethic in.
No.
We don't put much work or effort in, but we're here in the top
Here you
1%.
are.
Who would have
And
thought it?
It's a credit to you both.
Very kind of you. So what is new with
What
Mr.
is
Benjamin
new?
Dennehy? I know you've had a little break.
I have had a break. I took 3 weeks off. I don't normally talk about emotional things because I'm normally, slagging off salespeople. But I am a salesman myself. I think it's very important for salespeople to take a complete break. As I said, I've grown my business over the last 6-7 years, and I'm a one-man band. There's a lot of one-man bands or one-woman bands out there. And the problem is you can take a holiday, but you never take a complete break because you're still checking an email or you got to pay an invoice or whatever it is. So you can still be off skiing in the French Alps, but in the evening, you're on your phone. I just got to respond to this. I just got to, yeah. So you never have a break. And I got to that point where I was about to burn out. A colleague spotted it in me, said, "You look like you're going to burn out." I was feeling it, getting angry, irritable. And so he said, "Look, just take some time off, shut off everything." So I've just got back from a 3-week break where I turned off all my social media, turned off LinkedIn, turned off all the notifications, because that's the hook, right? That's how they get you. You get that little, you have a new message, and that's the dopamine. I've just got to see. But all my messages are work-related. 99% of anything that comes through to my phone is work-related, right? So it's not my personal friends because they're all on WhatsApp. And people on business, I don't talk to anyone on WhatsApp on business. So the first 2 days was fascinating because you compulsively reach for your phone like every few minutes. I couldn't believe it. And but what am I'm not looking at work stuff. So why do I keep doing this? Right. So it took a few days for that to die out. But after a 3-week detox, no social media, no emails, it was wonderful to come back, but also, which we're going to get onto later in the podcast, things we don't like. But there were certain aspects of social media that I realized I did not miss at all. But I did achieve stuff. I've always wanted to do the Rubik's Cube. You go everywhere you go to someone's house. I've always got a Rubik's Cube, and you sit there and you go, this fucking thing, right? It's bullshit. I learned I can now do a Rubik's Cube, no matter how mixed up it is. I can do it. I've mastered the algorithm. I then taught my daughter, who now is faster, better. She's bought the speed Rubik's Cube. She wants to. Her fastest now is just on a minute. So I'm still doing 5 minutes, but I'm glad I got there. I'm not competing with a 10-year-old. I learned I'll lose. So I did achieve stuff while on holiday. I got to focus on things that I wouldn't have done if I was thinking about work. So yeah, read some books, went to the movies several times, spent a week in the Cotswolds on a dairy farm. Yeah. And then I came crashing down to reality and back. No, it's kidding. I'm pleased to be back. I'm refreshed and ready to go. But I'm going to take more breaks. And I've also decided that come 7 o'clock every night, there's no phone. I've got to, and last night and the night before, even though I've only been back to work 2 days, I wanted to look at the phone. I was actually fighting. Don't look. Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. I think that the point you made around you can have time off, but to be really turned off when you're a business owner is massively overlooked. I've had someone chasing me for an email when my wife was in labor, and I was like, "Look, my wife's in labor. I'm gonna have to call you back." And he went, "You couldn't just send me that email, though, could you?" like my wife's in the background, like screaming in labour. And then when I got married, this is all centered around my wife as a theme here. A client rang me and I was like, "Oh, I'm really sorry. I can pass you on to Jack or Ben. I've just got married. Have you got 5 minutes?" I thought it's just unbelievable. But yeah, so there is the ability to turn off when you're employed. Don't overlook it before you make the plunge for going self-employed, because it's very, very hard to do, as Benjamin can attest.
It's very good.
We wanted to. It was interesting you say about the Rubik's Cube. When me and Zach went on holiday, I completed Bop It. You know Bop It?
No, I don't know Bop It.
The game Bop It, twist it, and you've got to bop it. If you don't know Bop It, I don't think I can explain it.
Colonies.
Yeah, probably. Okay.
While you're talking to me, Bop It.
Yeah, look up Bop It.
I'm gonna look up
That's
Bop
it.
The
next time we have you on the podcast, you'll be like, right, I know how to do a Rubik's Cube in 30
And I've done Bop It.
Completed Bop It. What's next, fuckers? I wanted to use this.
I've never seen this Bop It. I've never seen it. I'm looking at it right now. I've never seen this thing. Was this come out in the 90s?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah,
big 90s.
I was a teenager then. I was trying to bop other things.
Amazon Prime tomorrow. I wanted to use this episode as a bit of what's grinding my gears at the moment. So Benjamin, if we think about your world and salespeople and LinkedIn and all those things, what's grinding your gears at the minute?
I think it's been, and I've spoken with other people as well about this, I think it's been, like all social media, they eventually become swamped and overrun with everyone and everything. And I can't help but feel that LinkedIn has really changed. I think COVID pushed a lot more people on it that weren't there. And it went from being a place where there were lots of business owners and senior business players who were there. It was a networking thing for, senior people looking for work. COVID came, and like I said, I got to be careful what I say this, because COVID was good to me in a way, and so was LinkedIn. But it filled a lot more people with a lot more time on their hands was suddenly on the platform. And then you started getting all the personal brand gurus and the LinkedIn gurus and saying, you just got to do this, you got to do it. And then all of a sudden, we're getting into this pattern where it's just the same sort of posts, the same sort of messaging over and over again. And then we get the lifestyle gurus came onto it. And then the entrepreneur, you got people at 21 banging on about their entrepreneur story. It's like, the fuck? And don't get me wrong, some 21-year-olds have done really well, but a lot aren't. And then you get people mapping their struggles on, and it's just, and I don't know, every time I open up my LinkedIn now, I'm bombarded with the same crap. And even though I try to get out of it, you try and connect with different people outside of the network to see if you can get different things. The algorithm, it's like with Netflix. What I hate about Netflix is if you watch one program about a serial killer, everything it recommends is about someone being massacred or murdered, right? They don't give you the full range of availability. It's, we think you'll like this because you watch it. Yeah, but I'd like more than just I'd like to see stuff I don't like. Yeah? At least give me the choice of what I watch. And LinkedIn's sort of become like that. I don't seem to have a choice in what I see anymore. And it's people saying, I recently hired a guy in his 50s and should we fight ableism? And then everyone pats them on the back for like, oh, you're such a wonderful human being. And they're posing with a glass of wine or a dog or on the beach looking fawnfully in the distance and all of it. It's just, this is not what it was meant to be. It was meant to be a place.
It doesn't give any value, does it? There's no value. And I know that it's a bit of a wanky phrase, like give value, but that's how you sell. You help people, you serve people. Sales is serving, and you give so much value, like with your tips and tricks, and like I feel like your posts are like throwing a glass of water in a salesperson's face and saying like, wake up and do your job properly. And people but it's good because it gave people like me and Zach the kick up the arse to say, fuck it, like take sales seriously. But
and I feel we've lost that, don't you? It's just the sick of it. It's like Insta spam now, Insta scam. Everyone's trying to, Yeah, and it's just it's a shame because it was really good. I mean, maybe it's just because I don't know, but I know a lot of people have felt it because I've talked to a lot of people on the platform and they've said they feel the same. But there's nothing out there to rival it at this stage. If someone wants to set up another professional network, then perhaps they should. But I just that's what's grinding my gears lately, and I go on there and I just get depressed. No one's adding value. They just they're milking the algorithm. They're playing the system just to get likes and coverage. Or maybe I'm just a miserable old git. I don't know.
There's it's getting bad when there is a service that's basically how to intercept the algorithm, which is what we all see all day. It's the selfies of someone doing something somewhat luxurious, which is the same as Instagram, with the story that somehow links to, and this could be you too. So it is quite formulaic every single time you see, and you spot people doing the same formula. Me and Jack have often wondered as well. I wonder if there's a club that those people are part of where they all like each other's posts and comment on each other's posts.
It feels like it because when you read it, it's the same tone of voice. I've noticed. It's like I'm reading the same person. I have the same voice in my head, and it's artificial. Maybe it's AI. Maybe
it's always a whiny voice, isn't it? Have you seen that old bloke? Is he called Bill? And he's the 85-year-old that wanted to. You've been away, so maybe you haven't seen it.
No,
he's an 85-year-old, and he said, "I'm going to start my first business." And I look at him, and I'm like, "That's a filter of a young bloke that's put an old bloke on his face." and I keep messaging him saying, "You're an experiment," and he doesn't reply to me. So he is either an old man who's very upset that people are calling him an experiment, or he is a personal branding experiment gone wrong or gone right. Who knows?
Yeah. No, it's changing. The world changes. I get that. But that's just what's grinding my gears lately. Again, it'll change though, because people will get sick of it and they'll stop tuning into this sort of crap, I guess. And then the algorithm has to adapt and change for something else. But again, gone are the quality posts because now it wants short bullet points. Everyone, you've got to be bullet points, got to be this, got to be this, got to. So you can't offer any real value anymore because remember, there used to be articles. Do you remember articles?
Yeah.
You could write articles, but they were too long and too engaging. We don't want that. We need people just to keep, because they can only read 2 articles a day. We want them on there longer, scrolling through loads of shit in short form. Yeah, I understand why LinkedIn do it. I get it because their whole thing is keep you here. That's how we make our money. But ultimately, you get to the point where you start to push people off the platform because it's like, why am I here? It's become, it's almost like a street stall now, isn't it? Everyone is almost selling the same plastic tat.
Yeah.
It's Blackpool.
Those ceramic. Yeah, it's like running rats, only a pound.
Yeah. Everybody's got a stool, and they're all selling something slightly similar. Yeah.
What does the future hold for Mr. Benjamin Dennehy?
Well, I'm going to go do some travelling. As a lot of people know, I've been in England 25 years. It's been very good to me. I've had a wonderful time. I love England, and I will be back. I own a home here, and but I've decided it's time to do a bit of travel. And so I'm going to be leaving the UK end of this year, early next year is the plan. I've got things I need to get sorted. I love sales training, but I've been doing it a long time. So I'm kind of looking forward to slightly winding down. But I've built a big online presence, and I've lots of people contact me. So I'd love to work with you, but I don't have the money, or I can't get to you, or I don't want to do this. Can you make more stuff? So I've invested a lot of time and money in an online platform called the Sales Matrix courses. And everything I know is being dumped into this huge library. And people can access it as and when they want, obviously for a fee. But it's just a way for me to explain. And it's interactive. There'll be a community too. So you can bring your live problems and I'll deal with it. So it's not just going to be the typical bullshit sales training that buy this course and just go through the rota. It's going to be interactive. So you can send in, what would you do if in this scenario? I'll create a video about it. So there's going to be a whole video of all of the things that you can experience. Because a lot of what I teach, you can't just learn from a boot camp. It's actual through engagement with me. As you guys know, and it's like people who watch us cold call. You can't learn the way we cold call just by doing a course. You need to be around people that can do it so you can learn from them. And so that's what this platform's all about, to give people that resource that they can go to. So it's quite exciting. So I'm becoming a content creator. I mean, always have been, but I'm delivering it online as opposed to in person. But yeah, so people can sign up to that. It properly launches the end of this month, actually, 29th of April.
Exciting.
And I've re-recorded all my boot camps. So loads of people have bought boot camps in the past, but it's all been redone. And there's more stuff. So the boot camps are different to what they originally were. There's new stuff. And yeah. So yeah, it's just a way of funding my travel around the world.
Exciting. And how we've decided that you deserve, like any good friend, you deserve a farewell party. So we're going to throw you a farewell, to make sure you actually disappear. We're going to throw you a farewell party, and
yes,
tell the audience what we've decided to do.
So the three of us, we're going to put on a day of cold calling, a day of training, a day of networking, a day of having fun. Basically, we're doing it in Manchester on the 5th of June, and we're selling tickets. Jack knows I don't know all the specific details. Jack knows all the details. But we want you to come. How many people are we after? Is it 2? How many are we after?
The room could fit about 80. We've sold about 5. I think I've just seen another one.
Yeah, but considering we only launched
another one come through. So we've launched it. When did we launch it now? About half an hour ago.
Half an hour
ago. Yeah.
So not bad.
We're 6 tickets down. We're going to do an official launch tomorrow, but by the time you're listening to this,
there'll be at least 80. There'll be 80 people in the room. They're all going to be sales people. So come along, prepare to network, meet people, learn new things, give us your ideas, and we're just going to have fun with it. And it's just for me to say thank you, because people in Britain have been very good to me. I've worked all over the country. A lot of people on LinkedIn, I get emails all the time thanking me for my content and how much I've helped them. I know I inspired you guys. And so it's just, I just want to say, goodbye for now. It's not forever, but just a chance to, meet people in the flesh and say thank you. That's what it's about. It's not about making money. It's just literally about saying thank you, but we've got to charge, because if we don't,
obviously,
then we'd be pretty shit salespeople. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So links. Links are going to be come along June the 5th. Luxury hotel in Manchester. I can't say which one yet, but buy a ticket and I'll tell you where. And when I say luxury, me and Zach from Blackpool, it is luxury.
It's more than a B&B.
It's more than a B&B. Beautiful. But Benjamin, we will miss you, but we're excited to see where your journey goes on the platform. I know that you'll continue to create beautiful content. So thank you for being episode 100. Will you be episode 200 if we're still alive and we're not dead by then?
If we're still alive. If you get to 200, I'd be happy to. And I just want to say to you two guys, very impressed with the both of you. I've watched you guys come up from, I didn't know who you were 3 years ago. You suddenly came onto the scene. You've got really good at what you do. You provide a great service. I know that. And you're inspirational, because so many people do what I do, but they never get it well. And you guys have really run with it. And now you're teaching other people how to do it really well. I know that. And this is just going to carry on. I think the only thing that I regret now is telling everyone to say this is a cold call. Do you want to hang up? Because it's you can't escape it. I know people, but you're on LinkedIn and every day there's some new SDR saying, I did this. And it's like they've discovered gold for the first time, right?
Why don't we say this? Why don't we say this? At the event that we run, we'll focus on all the other ones that we don't use.
Yes.
And then we'll see if we can intercept that. Because I'm with you. We've got like 3 or 4 other ones that I'm terrified to even post on LinkedIn, because that's all I'll hear. Or I'll pick up the phone to someone and say, someone else just said that to me half an hour ago.
Yeah.
So that event.
But for anyone watching this, I want to say this, because people say to me, because I get this, people say, okay, that line, Benjamin's good, but isn't everyone doing it now? And this is the thing with LinkedIn. It's a silo. You're only talking to 1%, if that, of people on LinkedIn. And if you're calling people from within your network, you're calling people that are pretty much viewing the same content as you. So I know for a fact that, because I cold call as you do, as we've just done before, no one that we spoke to said, I've heard that line, or that line's done today. No, because in the real world, there are thousands upon hundreds, millions of companies and millions of business owners who've never heard this. So it's just in your silo that it gets a bit overdone. Yeah, but keep using it.
And the other thing I would say is, if you listen to a blues player, you know it's the blues, but there's a difference between someone who can play a bit of the blues and being B.B. King, right? So we all know what's happening, but the really good players, there's not many.
I like that.
Yeah.
You can take that, Jack.
Thank you, mate.
Take that for one of your posts.
Benjamin, thank you so much. Episode 100. And we'll see you at the live event, June the 5th in Manchester.
June the 5th in Manchester. Absolutely.
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it, guys. Thanks.